What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rugged red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Are you ready? You ready?
Yes.
Laura? We will kick the beef show off with the 2021 Bucket Calf Exhibition. We do appreciate our superintendent, Laura Turner, who puts this annual event together. The folks at the Extension Office that get the applications in for their July 1 ownership rule and the applications and their notebooks. So it's a conglomerative effort of a lot of folks working together to put this bucket calf competition. The competition is for youth in below the second grade to come in a non-competitive way exhibit an animal here at the Free Fair. We have exhibitors that and sponsors for these exhibits. I would like to run through that list real quick. Our big donor is OKC West, who donates the backpacks. We would like to thank Nancy Hinkle for the buckets that each exhibitor will receive. Kylie Turner for the candy bars. James and Laura Turner for the poppers, poppets, and school supplies. Tom Mansky for the $2 bill that is in the bucket. Also, Pizza Express of El Reno, who's donating a small pizza to each exhibitor. And JC Snow Cone Shack, who donates a snow cone. Let's give all those exhibitor sponsors a round of applause for their donations. I'd like to also introduce the judge for this year's bucket calf competition, Blue Phillips, and she is with the Savannah Station Therapy Program. She's the instructor there. For those of you not familiar, it is for special needs youth who get on a horseback and ride for some therapy. Excellent program and does a lot of good. Now entering the ring with their bucket calf competition is Cameron Harms of El Reno, Caleb Harms, also of El Reno, Ryder Jenkins of Yukon, Ryler Dawson, Union City, Gatlin Garcia of El Reno, Corbin Cooper of Yukon, Lexi Reed of Union City, Peyton Johnson, also of Union City, and Madeline Whitman of El Reno. Let's give our exhibitors a round of applause as we get this interview session started.
All right. Well, we're going to face the audience right here. Well, hello, how are you? All right. Tell me your calf's name.
Champ,
So tell me your favorite thing about Champ.
that he's sweet and he walks good.
He sure does. He is handsome. So how long have you been doing this?
About 5 weeks.
Way to go. Well, Champ is amazing. Great job. Keep it up. Well, hi there. How are you?
My name's Gatlin.
All right, Gatlin, tell me your calf's name.
Lovable.
Wow, he sure is handsome. How long have you been doing it?
This is my first time.
Is it? Wow, that's amazing. So how much feed do you feed him?
A half a scoop.
A half a scoop. All right. Well, great job. Keep up the good work. All right. Hi there. So tell me about your calf. What's his name?
Duke.
All right. So let's see. What's your favorite thing about Duke?
He's wild.
Duke is wild. All right. So how long have you been doing this?
For 2 years.
Way to go, cowgirl. All right. Well, he looks good. Keep up the good work. Hi there. How are you?
Good.
All right. What's your calf's name?
Baby and Tasha.
All right. What's your favorite thing about him?
I get to play with her.
Excellent. And how long have you been doing this?
1 year.
Wonderful. Well, he sure looks good. Great job. Hi there. How are you?
Good.
What's your calf's name?
Maybelline.
What's his name?
Maybelline.
Oh, Maybelline is super cute. So how many times a day do you feed him?
3.
How many?
3.
3 times. All right. So is this your first time to do this?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, great job. Keep it up. Still? Hello, hello. There I am. Hi there. What's your name?
Caleb Harms.
Tell me your calf's name.
Reba.
Reba. She is a pretty lady. So how long have you been doing this?
This year.
Wonderful. Good job. So how many times a day do you feed him?
Once.
All right. What's your favorite thing about Reba?
She is, I like walking her.
Awesome. Well, you're doing a great job, Caleb. Thank you. Hi there. Hi. What's your name?
Ryler Dawson.
And what's your calf's name?
Kevin.
Kevin is your calf's name. How long have you been showing?
I showed a calf 1 year ago, and it's my first year with him.
All right. Well, congratulations. That's awesome. How many times a day do you feed him?
Once.
All right. He looks so good. Great job. Keep up the good work. Hi there. What's your name?
Cameron.
Cameron, what's your calf's name?
Dolly.
Jolly. So is this your first time to show?
Yeah.
All right. What's your favorite thing?
So what about her? I like her. How I cuddle with her, and also I like her because her name's Dolly, and she has white and pink on her nose, and white on her head, and brown on her body.
Right.
And
That's awesome. Well, you're doing a great job. Keep it up. All right. You guys, we're going to walk our cows around. Over toward Tom. This way. We're walking our calves this direction. There we go. That works. Absolutely. All right, you guys, you did an amazing job. We are all winners here. Let's put our hands together for this amazing group of cowboys and cowgirls. Woo-woo! Good job. This is the future of ag right here. Way to go, you guys.
That concludes our bucket calf exhibition. Congratulations to all those exhibitors and the prizes that they take home. We will start the beef show at 1 o'clock as per the fair book, and we'll pick back up then with Jason Elmore coming in to judge our beef animals for the 2021 Canadian County Free Fair. Laura Turner. Laura Turner, could you come to the announcer stand, please? Laura Turner. I'll get the superintendent over here and we'll get it figured out. Okay, I've got 1 o'clock. If we get some superintendents in the ring, Tom Mansky, our ring steward.
We're still messing with.
Okay, well, we got a glitch then. We're not starting at 1.
What's your name? Jason Elmore. That's what I said. That's what I said. Are you sure you said? Yes. I read it in the book.
When you get a certain age, you tend to forget things.
Mac, are you talking about me?
I don't know. I remember when you were a kid.
Okay, I think our superintendents are ready to start off with the Beefmaster. We have 2 exhibits. Kason Atkinson has 2 exhibits in the Beefmaster from El Reno FFA. We'll enter the ring with those 2 exhibits. Would like to point out and thank our hardworking beef superintendents, Mr. Kyle McNeff, Mr. Clark Reuter, Mr. Kelly Beck, and our ring steward, Mr. Tom Mansky. We appreciate those gentlemen putting their expertise and time into play here at the 2021 Canadian County Free Fair. Also evaluating our beef animals for the fair, Mr. Jason Elmore, Wakamas, Oklahoma. Appreciate him taking time out to come evaluate the beef cattle.
Okay, and then we got Brahma next. We got one.
Well, good afternoon. It's definitely a pleasure to be here this afternoon, and I had the opportunity to visit with a few of the guys over here at the stands before we got going, and just kind of on the terms of county fairs. And I can tell you all right now, you're very blessed to be here today and to do what you're doing. What a great way to start off the day with the national anthem and to be in this facility. I tell you what, we'd give our right arm to have this kind of facility in our neck of the woods for a county fair. But we're going to leave these 2 heifers stand just as they come in. The young lady to my right with the solid red heifer will be first, and then the one with the white will be second. The female I'm going to go ahead and start the class with, I think she wins on the terms of balance and femininity. I love the extension that she has up front. She lays in good at the point of that shoulder, comes out nice and square out through that hip, and stands down on plenty amount of bone and foot. And I realize the foot and bone deal is not really going to be an issue in this breed, but that's just a really attractive type of female to win this division. The young lady's heifer that's next, I really like that foot and bone work. There is more mass to this one. She just gives up a little bit of that overall look and appearance and angularity to go any higher. Nice set of heifers. Let's give them a round of applause.
Congratulations, a first place and breed champion banner goes to Kason Atkinson of El Reno FFA. A second place and reserve breed champion banner also goes to Kason Atkinson of El Reno FFA. We're ready for Brahman heifer. We have 1 exhibit entering the ring from Yukon FFA, Matthew Edwards.
Single entry we have for the Brahma show, and I want to commend this young man for bringing an awfully good one out here, although she stands out here alone without any competition. Certainly this is a breed that that we don't raise at our place, but it's certainly a breed that I have a lot of respect for. More than anything, these cattle are way more heat resistant than I am, so my hat's off to all those geared cattle for that. But they're just really good cattle, very doable cattle, kind that can survive out there in rough terrain when they are done being shown. I think this young man's got a great future project on his hands right here. Let's give him a round of applause.
Congratulations. The first place blue ribbon and champion banner goes to Matthew Edwards of Yukon FFA. We're now ready for our Charlet. We have one exhibit entering the ring, Lana Danielson of Banner 4-H.
I realize, a lot of these county levels, numbers per breed are often small. We have a lot of single entries or 2s and 3s, but and that's expected at a county level. But I'll tell you what, sometimes it's not expected is quality. And I know without a doubt, just when you hear the name Canadian County and the kind of cattle you'll see is always going to be good. And I think this Charlet heifer represents that. A heifer that's youthful in her appearance. She's fresh in her makeup and condition-wise. A heifer that's got plenty of dimension to her. But I'm a feet and structure type of person, and I think this heifer excels, just thinking of other cattle that aren't even out here in the ring, in a lot of terms in just today's society and the cattle that we're raising. I love the footwork underneath this one, the cushion that she has at the ground as she goes, lays in good at that shoulder. Just a really nice heifer that I think scared off the rest of the competition. Congratulations, young lady.
Congratulations on our breed champion Charlet, shown by Lana Danielson of Banner 4-H. I think Mr. Elmore had a great comment when it said it scared off the rest of the competition. All right, we're ready for the Kianina. We have 2 exhibits entering the ring. We have an exhibit by Nathan Inman of Yukon FFA and another exhibit coming in the ring by Lana Danielson of Banner 4-H.
In our key division this afternoon, I'll tell you, kind of describe these cattle the way I see them, and then give you a surprise placing there at the end. The young man that brings out this white heifer, you talk about one that's just packed full of substance, a really stout-made type of heifer that stands down on a massive amount of feet and bone underneath her. Heifer's got plenty of dimension to her. A heifer, I think, just I appreciate that about her. One that's certainly stout and has some dimension to her. If I want to get picky on her, I wish we could make this one a little more feminine. Wish we could smooth her up in that front end a little bit, maybe drop her down in that front rear flank, and just make her a little more ladylike. I think that's an advantage when you're talking in femininity terms with the black heifer. One that's really neat at that point of the shoulder, has some extension to her. When you evaluate that one in the terms of length of spine, starting up there at the pole and in that tail head, certainly has an advantage in length of spine. Maybe not as stout, or I know she's not as stout as the white heifer, but a heifer that's just more ladylike. I like the maternal abilities of this female, and she's going to be our champion, and the white will be reserved. Congratulations.
Congratulations goes to our first place and breed champion winner in the Kianina class, Lana Danielson of Banner 4-H. Second place and a reserve breed champion banner goes to Nate Ninman of Yukon FFA. Are we bringing all three classes in? Okay, we want all three classes of Hereford to come in. There's three, Tom, three. We had a scratch on Madison. Okay, we have three classes coming in. Crossland Garcia from Banner 4-H, Class 1. In class number 2, Galen Rexstraw, El Reno FFA. In class number 3, Carly Kinder of Banner 4-H, Charlie Kinder.
In the Hereford division, without a doubt, definitely some difference to be discussed, and not just size and age, but I think in terms of quality and the things I like, there's some differences to see. And to go ahead and talk these, then I'll select your grand and reserve of this breed. The young lady's heifer calf that comes out here, I like this one. I like her quite a bit. You know, a young, youthful type of female, which should be at this age, but one that's, I think's got a lot of future to her. A heifer that's nice in her lines, a heifer that's neat up in that front end, a heifer that has enough muscle pattern to her. I think just has a super bright future to her. The heifer, and I know it's got to be first-time jitters when she gets out here and gets to going, you know, gets pretty choppy in that movement, and I'm going to give her a benefit of the doubt there and say that's just a baby that's come to town for the first time and just needs to chill out and settle down a little bit. But, I know she's got youth against her, but at the same time, I think that works in her favor in the terms that I think there's a bright future in that young heifer calf. The young man's heifer that we've got here in the center, here's one that I certainly like for that dimension, the depth of body, the cow power that she has, one that's got a big old foot underneath her, plenty of bone. I love the set that she has in that knee and that hock and can get out and go. Without a doubt, the most fluid moving female that we have out here. For me to get critical on this one, I just wish we could freshen her up. She's showing plenty of chest out there, just a little heavy in her condition for me, but still a lot of good qualities to that thing. Just if we could freshen her up, I think would help her quite a bit. Way to hang in there, young lady. You're tougher than I am. I'd already let go. And then the heifer that we've got back here in the back. You talk about condition-wise of these females, I think this one's probably the most ideal in her condition. Not too much cover on her, just enough that keeps her really fresh. And with that, a heifer that I think has some extension, some femininity. I do wish we could make this one softer in her body type, and one that if I could fix her, the critical thing for me is how she gets up on those toes as she goes out and goes. Just wish she would sit back in that hock and that pasture a little bit and be softer on the move. I'll look at these three one more time, an awfully nice set of Herefords, and I'll select a grand in reserve.
All right, so we're class 1, 2, and 3.
Just like we got them here. No. Garcia's a baby. Kinder. 274. Oh.
Congratulations to our breed and reserve breed champion winners. All three classes get a first place ribbon. First place in class number 3 goes to Charlie Kinder of Banner 4-H. A first place and reserve breed champion comes out of class number 1, Crossland Garcia of Banner 4-H. And the breed champion first place ribbon goes to Dylan Rakestraw of El Reno FFA. Congratulations to those exhibitors. We're now ready for the limousine. We need Callan Kinder, Banner 4-H, to enter the ring. We'll show for our limousine breed champion.
Another single entry for our limousine show. And, we sit here in the middle of August or getting towards the end of August and start thinking about what's coming this fall. And, there's the Oklahoma City State Fair, Tulsa State Fair. You start thinking about the big shows of Kansas City, American Rural, going to Louisville. There's a lot to be said for what these kids and cattle have to look forward to this fall. And I think this young man has a heifer that's pretty neat. I think this young man could take this heifer and not just play today at a county level, but within that breed, I think there's a lot of good to that female that could stand plenty of competition. A heifer that's ideal in my terms of size where she needs to be. I like the freshness that she's in. A heifer that can sure get good enough on the ground as she gets out and goes. When she stops and he gets her planted there, one that's certainly up-headed, ties in good at that next shoulder junction. I think just an awfully good heifer that this young man definitely needs to go on to bigger shows and find some more competition, because I think that one could play. Congratulations, young man.
In our limousine division, congratulations. First place And champion banner goes to Callan Kinder of Banner 4-H. Well done, Callan. We're now ready for the main and Jew. We have one exhibit entering the ring, Bryce Roop of Piedmont 4-H.
As this young man brings his main and Jew back around here, young man, don't get discouraged. That's what these deals are for, getting these babies out, getting them some experience, letting them get used to those doors slamming and people staring, and let them get used to it, because she's got bigger and better days ahead of her, and so do you. A very feminine, attractive type of female that wins this division, a heifer that's got some extension, some angularity. Another one, kind of, we talked that younger Hereford in that division. One I think just has a world of future ahead of her, and I wish this young man the best of luck. Let's give him a round of applause.
Congratulations, a first place blue ribbon, and breed champion banner goes to our main and Jew exhibitor of that champion heifer, Bryce Roop of Piedmont 4-H. Congratulations, Bryce. All right, we're ready for maintainer. We have one exhibit in the maintainer breed. Rylan Fleener of El Reno FFA may enter the ring.
Best thing about these single entries is I'm not going to get them wrong, and I'm right every time. They keep coming at me like this. So those of you in the back, just keep bringing single entries, and I won't make any mistakes on the placings. But Here's just like a couple of these other breeds we've already had. A November maintainer heifer that I think certainly could stand some competition. You know, already talked about the time of year that we're in August, and these things haven't quite started to hair up yet, and, you know, just kind of starting to come to their bloom and get ready for what's ahead of them this fall. And once again, another one that's got plenty of future. You know, I'm kind of a sucker for those fall borns. You know, they never look like the baby, but they never look like the fat stale one. And I think this young lady has one of those on her hands. Just a good heifer that's in the right rig and for the right age. I think she's got quite a bright future as well. So let's give her a round of applause.
Congratulations to our first place and breed champion banner winning maintainer exhibit shown by Ryland Fleener of El Reno FFA. We're now ready for the Red Angus. We have 2 exhibits entering the ring, Madison Blair of El Reno FFA and Emery Bowers of Mustang FFA.
Two really nice Red Angus heifers for the Red Angus drive. And to describe them, this young calf that comes out here, I like this one. I like her a lot. You look at that one viewed from the side, there's some dimension to her, and just in the terms of the length that she has, she's up-headed, got some extension up front. You come all the way back and look at her going down to the ground, you know, one that's got some set to that pastern. I love that swoop and lower dimension that she has to her center body cavity, and one that I think just has quite a bit of future to her. You know, still on the skinny side, but she's a baby. She's not supposed to be fat, and I like that about her. One, I think that the days are just going to get better for that one. Then the April that comes next, if I remember right, she told me she was in April. Yeah, here's a heifer that I sure enough like. When you look at her from behind, there's more dimension up top, and there should be with her age, but that heifer's got a big turn to her upper side of her rib, a heifer that stands down an adequate amount of bone. If I'm going to get picky on her, I just wish we could free her up a little bit as she gets out and goes and put her in motion, and I think that's where the calf has the advantage. She'll be our champion, and the older heifer will be reserved. Congratulations.
Little one's champion.
Tom, Jason, yes. Do you? Okay, in the Red Angus, first place breed champion goes to Madison Blair of El Reno FFA. Yes. And in second and reserve breed champion goes to Emery Bowers of Mustang FFA. All right, we have 2 shorthorn exhibits entering the ring. Haley Wabata of Yukon FFA and Kelby Worthington of Banner 4-H.
two awfully nice shorthorns for our shorthorn division. This young calf that the young lady brings out here, you know, I know I'm kind of starting to sound repetitive when we talk about those calves and the future they have, but, you know, it's just kind of that time of year, you know, being able to project these things into the future, and I think this one's got a lot of future to her. You know, when you look at that one from the ground up, there's plenty of foot and bone to her, a heifer that's got some right angles to her, plenty of dimension, just has time, you know, and needs that, and I think with time that one's going to just continue to get better. And then the older black and white heifer, the young lady said she's a November. I'm going to say by that teat placement that one's going to start getting pretty close to calving there at her second birthday, and I appreciate that about her. You know, a big ribbed type of female, a really deep-sided one that's got some dimension to her, one that's still fresh enough for me today. I think one that just kind of checks most boxes for me. So the young lady's older heifer will be champion, and the calf will be reserved. Congratulations, young ladies.
So Wave Day is champion.
No, reserve.
Okay. Okay, in our Shorthorn division, a first place and breed champion goes to Kelby Worthington of Banner 4-H. Second place, and a reserve breed champion goes to Haley Wabeday of Yukon FFA. We're now for Shorthorn Plus. Caden Worthington, Banner 4-H, needs to enter the ring. I make mention, anyone that is showing in the Junior Beef Show is eligible for showmanship. So if you're only showing a heifer, but you want to compete in the showmanship, go ahead and keep your heifer up and be ready after the steer show, grand champion and reserve grand champion selections, to come back in for showmanship. Anybody that shows in the beef show is eligible for showmanship.
If you've heard me say it once, you're going to hear me say it again now, and I'm going to belt here before the day's over. Structure is important to me. These females need to look like females, and they also need to have a show ring appearance and have some eye appeal to them. This dark red heifer does all that for me. This one, the second she hits the arena, I'm seeing that big old foot underneath her, and then when she parks, she's set back in that knee. She's got a right set to her pastern and hock, and she just even continues to get better as you work your way up. Heifer, it's got the right amount of muscle and thickness to me, but still really fresh in her appearance, really extended up in that front end. I think just an awfully nice heifer that definitely needs some more competition. Let's give this young man a round of applause.
Congratulations, and our Shorthorn Plus breed goes to Caden Worthington of Banner 4-H. We need Simmental. We have 3 classes of Simmental. We'll bring them all into the ring at the same time. Bryson Ballou, Charlie Kinder, and Rylan Fleener may enter the ring.
three different ages, three different semis out here for this semi division, and definitely three different types. The young man's heifer calf that comes out here in front, one that I like that youthfulness about her, and being repetitive again, one that and she should be. She's the calf of the bunch. A heifer that's got a big old top to her, got plenty of thickness to her, but with that comes a little bit, just being a little bit harder shaped. She's a little harder and bolder in that shoulder. Wish we could tone her down in the top of that neck. When you start evaluating that one and projecting her to the future, I'll get a little concerned of that one in the future on terms of staying fresh and having that ladylike appearance, but still a super stout type of female for the young man to get started with. That heifer right here in the middle, a heifer that I really like on the terms of just freshness. I think of compared to the two on either side of her, this one is in the right condition today. A heifer, going into these fall shows, she's where she needs to be in my book. And I hope I'm not wrong, because we got a slug of them at our house right now in that kind of condition for this time of year, and I think that's where they need to be. A heifer that I sure enough appreciate for that length that she has. If I want to get picky on this one, she gets up on that rear toe a little bit. Would like to soften that up just so slightly, but still, that one sits it down right. She's got some circumference to that foot. She's laid back in that knee, and I really like the extension and femininity and freshness that she has. That heifer that's here in the back. Here's one that, she's the powerhouse one of the bunch. From the ground up, she's super powerful. Lots of bone, lots of foot, really big in her top, a lot of thickness through her hip, and stands down on a wide base. But with that one, kind of comparing up to that calf, on the terms of just how much muscle she has, that gives up with her, she gives up a little bit of softness for me. She's a hint heavy in her condition. I wish we had a little more natural dimension to her in the terms of rib shape and depth of body, but still a nice female. I'll look at these one more time and select your Grand Reserve Simmentals. At this moment, let's give these three a round of applause.
Congratulations to our winner of the Simmental breeding heifer in the junior division. Comes out of Class 2, Charlie Kinder of Banner 4-H. Congratulations. And also we have a first place reserve breed champion coming Class 3, Rylan Fleener of El Reno FFA. And a first place ribbon goes to Bryson Ballou of Union City FFA. All right, we have 5 exhibits coming in AOB, all of the breed heifers. We need Rylan Fleener, El Reno FFA, Brooklyn Beams, Yukon FFA, Ella Danielson, Banner 4-H, Madison Blair, El Reno FFA, and Ella Danielson, Banner 4-H. All of our breed and reserve breed champion heifers need to be kind of gathering in the holding area after we select our reserve champion. AOB will go for grand, and then we'll select reserve grand champion heifer for the 2021 Canadian County Free Fair. I'd like to give a shout out to the good folks at National Livestock who have sponsored these outstanding breed and reserve breed champion banners that are being passed out to the winners as they exit the ring. Beautiful banners, beautiful artwork on that, and we thank National Livestock for making that possible with their donation.
As a judge, I've had the opportunity to judge a number of these things, and when you're talking to the superintendents and the ringmen as the day gets started and they say you're going to end up with the AOBs, that always kind of gives me a little bit of goosebumps because you don't know what's going to come at you with AOBs. I did one not long ago, and that was when they actually had their bucket calf part of things, and I was expecting big show cows like this. So not knowing what to expect when these come in here, I'm pleasantly surprised. You know, obviously the biggest class of the day, biggest breed of the day, and I think there's a lot of quality out here to be talked about. I jokingly made a comment to the young lady up here at the calf. I said, aren't those babies fun? She's got her hands full just with the attitude of those things. You know, they're new to town, everything's new to them, and there's some challenges there, but I think that's a calf that just needs a little more time. I love the femininity about that heifer. I like the length that she has. She's fighting the halter, and that's expected, and she just needs a little more time. I think that one's got quite a future ahead of her. The one that comes next, here's a heifer when she's parked and on that profile, there's a lot of good to that one. I like that extension. She comes out good at the top of that shoulder and ties in well at that shoulder neck junction. One that comes out, one of the more leveled hip heifers out here of the set, and I like that about her. I do get just a hint concern in this one. We put her in motion up there on that front end that she wants to come outside of her skeleton a little bit too much for me, but still there's some good to her. Then the young lady's smoky colored heifer here. Here's one that from the ground I really, really like. A big foot, soft made, one that can reach out and stride. This one hits the arena with the most authority on talking about feet and legs. One that can just get out and motor and get out and go, and I really like that about her. I like the presence that she's in. I like the condition that she's in. A heifer that's got plenty of muscle for me today. You know, talking about these AOBs and whether they're crossbreds or whatever they are, there's a lot of good to this one. If I'm going to get picky on this girl, I just wish we can make her more feminine up in that front end, clean her up in that front 1/3 and that neck portion of her body. But behind that and down at the ground, there's a lot of good to that heifer. The most feminine, attractive type of female in the terms of maternability is the next dark red heifer. Here's one that, this is a brood cow in the making. The young lady told me her age, and you know, won't be long before she's in production. And you try to project those things into the future, and I see that one just being a beautiful brood cow turned out on some big old tall grass. I think that's an awfully good one in their own right, just in the terms of making an awfully good cow for that young lady. When we get to the heifer back here in the back, here's one that I certainly like the pattern. I like that silhouette. I like the outline of this female, and I like that just when viewed from the side. When we put her in motion, that one needs to be freed up a little bit for me down there at the ground, and I like the amount of muscle this one has. but I'm going to contradict myself and talk out of both sides of my mouth. That one might be just a hint too powerful for me today when we're talking about females. But viewed from the side, I think that's a super attractive, up-headed, nice type of heifer to be standing out here. I'll look at these one more time and select your grand reserve for this division. Let's give these individuals a round of applause.
Hey, I'm right in the middle of the cattle show, but that's okay. Uh-huh. That's funny. What do you say? Oh yeah, he's good. Both of those boys are good kids, Dan. Yeah. Well, your grandson just had the reserve champion Keith. So I mean your nephew, my grandson. So anywho. Yeah, Keith, yeah.
Okay, in our AOB, breed champion comes out of class number 3. First place winner, Ella Danielson of Banner 4-H. Reserve breed champion comes out of class 5, Ella Danielson of Banner 4-H. And of course, class 1, Ryan Fleener of El Reno FFA gets a first place ribbon. Brooklyn Beans, Yukon FFA. Class number 2 gets a first place ribbon. In class 4, first place goes to Madison Blair of El Reno FFA. Okay, we're ready for our grand champion heifer selection. The belt buckles for our breed grand champion and reserve grand champion are sponsored by the Canadian County Cattlemen's Association. We appreciate that group of folks and their sponsorship of those awards. Coming in to show for our grand champion heifer, the Beefmaster, breed champion represented by Kason Atkinson of El Reno FFA. The Brahma breed champion, Matthew Edwards, Yukon FFA. Breed champion Charlet was exhibited by Alana Danielson of Banner 4-H. The breed champion Kianina, another exhibit by Lana Danielson of Banner 4-H. Hereford breed champion Dylan Rakestraw, El Reno FFA. Our breed champion Limousine was exhibited by Callan Kinder, Banner 4-H. Main Anjou breed champion, Bryce Roop, Piedmont 4-H. The Maintainer breed champion was exhibited by Rylan Fleener, El Reno FFA. Red Angus breed champion will be brought in the ring by Madison Blair of El Reno FFA. Shorthorn breed champion, that exhibitor is Kelby Worthington of Banner 4-H. Shorthorn Plus breed champion will be exhibited by Caden Worthington, Banner 4-H. Simmental, that breed champion is represented by Rylan Fleener of El Reno FFA. And the AOB breed champion, Ella Danielson of Banner 4-H. Again, let's have our reserve breed champions in holding so that we can finish up our reserve grand champion selection here in just a moment.
First and foremost, let's give these heifers exhibitors a round of applause. I know we're not at the end of the day. We still have a steer show and we still have showmanship, but if any of you know me at all, you know this is where our heart and soul is in these females and raising these show heifers and promoting these show heifers and dragging these things up and down the road, you know, all across the country, and we love it. We do it as a family, and we love it as a family, and I get excited just to evaluate these things, whether it's standing out here in the dirt in an air-conditioned building or it's sitting on a Polaris out in the pasture looking at the next future prospects. I get excited about the heifer industry and the show heifer industry, and more importantly than that, and I've said this more than once, the only thing that we like more than the cattle in this industry is the people in this industry, and no offense to the adult type on the outside, but these kids on the end of a halter and those that didn't have the opportunity to come back out here for the Grand Drive, that's where our heart and soul is, and we love doing it. And I can't say it enough, how I just enjoy evaluating good cattle. A county fair, a lot of times you're not going to see this quality. I'm going to tell each and every one of you, and some of you that didn't have the opportunity to come back, please stay here and do not move to our county, because there's some awfully good ones, and I don't want to have to compete against them with our kids and customers. Some awfully nice ones. We start up here in the ear division, as I'm going to call it. That is an awfully good beef master. Young lady, I think you've got an awfully good one there. You know, the Brahman derivative type of cattle, you know, they're different, obviously. You know, they look different. But when you just talk about true quality, there's a lot of good quality in these two up here in front, and I like both of them, just on the terms of doability, on the terms of structure, on the terms of rib shape. Awfully nice cattle. We get to the white heifer next. You know, I talked about her when she come out here, about one that wants to move and can get out and walk, and one that got some stride and some foot underneath her. I really like that about that heifer. I'm a structural type of guy, and that one hits me on those terms. You know, if I'm going to get picky on this one, and I know it can be just a hint of a breed characteristic, she might get off just ever so slightly in that hip, but still that's an awfully good one. The young man's black heifer that we have next there in lineup. I love the extension of that one. An awfully neat, attractive female up there in that front 1/3. Maybe gets a little bit soft in her top and comes off in that hip so slightly, but still there's an awful lot good to that one. The big Hereford, the massive stout one of the bunch. A heifer I like for that doability, but I think that ends up working in her disadvantage, that she is just a little heavy in her condition for me today. But still a big-footed, super sound female. It's going to be in production here before too long, and I like those things about her. The next heifer, the young man, the dirty one. I got to pick on this kid. Hey, buddy, you're supposed to bring the cattle to the ring clean. You know that? I'm picking on him now. She lays down out here. She's tired. I get it. If nobody was looking, I might sit down too. But that's an awfully good heifer. I like that one. I remember talking about that one and projecting that one into the future shows coming this fall. I think that one can stand a lot of competition. A lot of good to that one. If anything, I think that one, as we think about it in the future and not just today, might need a little bit of management up there in that front end, getting down into that chest. But still, besides that, that's picking on an awfully nice one that I like quite a bit. The next two heifers that we have here, the calf and the young lady that's turning one around, they're good in their own rights. Two awfully nice heifers for that breed. The young man, you know, I like that. I like the freshness and youthfulness about that one. I like the, you know, being a calf, you know, she's not too fat. She's got plenty of future, and I like that about her. The young lady's heifer next. I remember discussing that one in my own mind and talking about, I know that's a fall, but I've got to ask. And she tells me she's a November, and I like that age group, and I know there's more falls out here as well. I think that one is just in the right condition at the right time of the year for me. I love the freshness that she has. She's not too much, not too little. A heifer that I think's got a lot of future. She's really good in a lot of terms. If anything, that one might just get a little bit cresty up on the top side of her neck, but still a powerful type of female I like quite a bit. The red calf. Guys, there's one that I think just, that I'd love to see that one a year from now. I think that one's got a big future ahead of her as well. I love that lower turn to her belly cavity, her center body dimension. I think one that's just going to get better as she goes on. We get into the shorthorn here. Here's one that I sure like this young lady's heifer on the terms of structure. one that come out and she moved. I like the fact, probably more so than that, one that's approaching that time of her life where she's going to be a mama cow. I like that teat placement underneath her, and she's doing what she needs to do. And then we get a dark red Shorthorn Plus heifer here. I tell you, this one hits me pretty hard when viewed from the side. This one's got some length. She's got some extension up in that front end. I love the freshness about her. I love that foot and bone work underneath her. When this one parks and just sits there, I really like her. You put her in motion, not disappointed at all. I think there's a lot of good to her. I know I've said some negative things about a lot of these in here, and that's just, you know, God never made a perfect cow, and that's why us breeders keep after this and keep trying to make them. So if I'm going to get picky on this one, she just needs to be softened up lower in her lower 1/3 just so slightly. But for August and knowing what that one's got to go to this fall, she's in pretty darn good rig. The black heifer that comes here next. I talked about that one and her length of spine, that extension that she has. I think that one holds an advantage in some of the others on just those terms of extension. We got the AOB back here, the yellow heifer. Here's one that I absolutely love down there at the ground. In my opinion, that one's foot shape and bone work matches her body. I love that about her. So many times we can get these cattle misportioned. We can have too much in one spot and not enough in others. I think that one balances out and matches things up quite well when you look at her from the ground going up. If anything, wish we could make her just a little more ladylike up in that front end. In my mind, I've kind of narrowed it down to about 3 or 4 of them. I just asked the superintendents, these guys helping me out here, that we are just selecting 2 correct so I don't make a mistake. You guys will make it a lot easier if you let me place 4 of them, but I guess you're not going to do that. So I'll look at them one more time and select your grand reserve for the heifer show today. Once again, let's give yourselves and these kids a round of applause. Great set of cattle and even better kids.
Congratulations to our grand champion. It comes from the Shorthorn Plus breed, Caden Worthington of Banner 4-H. There is no reserve breed champion, so we'll move on and select our reserve grand champion, who will get that reserve grand buckle sponsored by the good folks at Canadian County Cattlemen's Association. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lemmy? Okay, congratulations to the Reserve Grand Champion exhibitor for the 2021 Canadian County Free Fair in our heifer show, the limousine, shown by Callan Kinder of Banner 4-H. Congratulations. We're going to let our heifers kind of get exited out, and then we'll be ready to start our market show. Do we have any prospects, or are they all?
No, they're all going to be market. But we're going to do, yeah.
Remember, if you want to do showmanship heifer exhibitors, if, if you want to do showmanship, keep your heifer up and bring it back. Once we select the reserve grand champion, we'll bring everybody that wants to show for showmanship back into the ring. I think we got plenty of room, and the judge said he would like to evaluate all the contestants that are interested in showmanship at one time. We'll do a junior division, an intermediate, and a senior division.
plumbing jobs where I
Yeah,
find leaks.
you're a leak finder. Folks, before we get started here with the steer show, we never really take the time to acknowledge some folks behind the scenes that make this all happen. The extension staff, without them, I guarantee you, the fair would be very awkward and not easy to conduct. First of all, I'd like to say a big thank you to Carissa Jones handling the entries and the show works. That is one complex program, and she does well. Give Carissa a round of applause, please. Also, another hard worker that does yeoman work in that extension office. If you like those banners we're passing out, Bandy has done great work with those banners and worked with the printer and got those screenshot on there to where they're beautiful. And we do appreciate that, Bandy. Give Bandy a round of applause. We also appreciate Todd and Kyle and Alexis and all that they do. Give them a round of applause, and whenever the judges are ready, we'll kick this thing off and get going again. All right. Jason Elmore from Waukomis, Oklahoma is our judge. It looks like our superintendents are ready, and they're calling in Class 1 Angus and Class 2 Angus. We have Charlie Mock from Yukon FFA and Sammy Tieford, Yukon FFA.
You might ought to.
As we get into the steer show part of the show today, I think two awfully nice Angus steers to come out here. And let me just tell you the differences I see in them. The young man steer comes in here, the lighter weight, but I don't believe by a whole lot. Here's a really compact type of steer. He's got a lot of expression to his muscle. One, it's got some curve to his top. He's really expressive through that quarter and lower stifle, and I like that about him. You know, for me, and I know structure in these steers isn't going to be nearly nearly as critical for me as it is in those heifers. I wish we could free him up a little bit. Maybe like I started that set of reasons on terms of compact, not quite as compact as he is, but still a really explosive, stout-made type of calf. The young ladies that comes next. Here's one that I think has probably equal amount of muscle, but just in a different shape. There's muscle and roundness, and there's muscle and length. This one has the muscle and length. I really appreciate that length to him. I like the fact that this is a little higher stature type of steer. It's got more length of spine, and length does add up to weight. I like that calf on a profile, and I like that calf when he goes out and moves. When it comes down to it, I think the young man's calf is, just like I said, just really stout in terms of dimension, but gives up a couple things I'd like to change about him. Our champion for the Angus division will be the young lady. Congratulations.
Congratulations to our first place and breed champion Angus steer, Sammy Tieford of Yukon FFA. Reserve breed champion is won by Charlie Mock of Miller 4-H. We're now ready for the Hereford. We have 2 exhibits ready to enter.
Wrong way, wrong way. Landon, you got them sick.
We're ready for Kason Atkinson, El Reno FFA, and Colin Kinder of Banner 4-H with their Hereford steers.
These 2 Hereford steers, I think there's some similarities, but there's still some definite differences for me when we evaluate these. And I'm not fully aware of the exact weight difference on these 2 guys, but I would guess that they're going to be somewhat close, and without a doubt, neither one of them are market ready. And I think we're going to see a lot of that today. Very few calves or very few steers that this time of year are going to be fat. They're not going to be pushing that prime stage of their life, and that's expected just for where they're at. But to look at them and see the differences in them, the young lady steer that leads the way out here, I like this one in the terms of style. This one's a little more up-headed. He's got some more extension to him. When you look at him and get up behind him and get up on him from behind, I like the squareness of this calf's hip and compared to the young man's steer. I think there's some differences in there when you look at it from the top going down. They both stand on an adequate amount of feet and bone underneath them. True dimension-wise is going to be very comparable. when I sit back and I look at these two, I think there's some differences, but for me, I like the squareness and the stoutness of the young ladies, and that'll be your champion. Congratulations to both of them.
Our breed champion comes from the first place Class 1 winner, Kason Atkinson of El Reno FFA. Our reserve breed champion is Callan Kinder of Banner 4-H. Congratulations to both those exhibitors. All right, we have 3 classes of Maine and Jew. Class 1, Parker Symes, Yukon FFA, needs to enter the ring. In Class 2, Caden Offalter Bow and Benjamin Sherry need to be in the holding area.
Single entry prospect that this young man brings out here, but I think one that could certainly stand some competition. And I understand that in this particular breed, we're actually going to have a breed drive, and I look forward to being able to compare some different sizes of calves out here and compare them to each other. Here's a calf that I think's got some style. He's got some look, and I don't have to get up close to this one to see that there's some dimension and some thickness to him. A calf that I sure enough like for that hip that he's got there at the back side of him, and you look at him at the ground, he stands down adequate bone and feet. Just a pretty darn good calf. Look forward to seeing him back out here for the Grand Drive.
Congratulations to Parker Symes with the first place Class 1 winner, and Maine and Jew Market Steer from Yukon FFA. We're now ready for Caden Offalter Bow and Benjamin Sherry to enter with their exhibits in Class 2 Maine and Jew steers. Caden is representing Yukon FFA and Benjamin Banner 4-H. In the holding area, we need Blakely Beams and Aubrey Rakestraw.
Definitely two different steers out here. I think the only thing they've got in common is black and white and shown by two good kids. The differences I see, the young lady's calf that comes out here first, and I know we need to find the best one for today, and it's hard for me not to try to project these things into the future, but I think that one, when he hits his terminal weight and he gets that condition and fat put in him like he needs, I think that one's going to be an awfully good fat steer, young lady. I love that one at the ground. That one's one that with his structure alone is going to be able to handle a lot amount of weight. He obviously, as he gets older, he's going to put on more muscle and more fat, and I'm just trying to project that guy into the future as a fat steer. I think that's going to be a pretty good one. I love the way he lays in at the point of that shoulder, the length and extension that he has. I already mentioned how good he is at the ground, and therefore, you know, be able to handle more weight as time comes. The stout, expressively muscled steer is the young man's. Here's one I sure enough like that thickness that he's got. When you look at him from behind, you look at him from any direction, he's stout. He's big topped, he's big centered, he's got a lot of muscle, a lot of thickness through that hip and quarter, and I like that about him. I want to get picky on him. You know, I question how fresh and how good he's going to stay at the ground and up front, but I love the fact that how stout and powerful he is today. And I think another calf that will be very competitive as he gets older too. You know, the structure on him is not a problem, but it's just not quite as good as the one in front of him. I'm going to look at these two one more time. I'm just not sure what I want to do here, you know, looking at them today, which one's the best and which one's going to be in the long term. But two awfully good steers, different in their type and kind today. I'll look at them one more time and decide. In terms of length and what I think I'd want to put in my barn, looking at the future, where we'd want the end product, young lady, you're going to win this class. Young man, you'll be second. Congratulations.
In class number 2, first place goes to Caden Hofalterbo of Yukon FFA. In second, we got Ben Sherry of Banner 4-H. All right, we're ready for our third and final class of Main and Jew. We got Blakely Beams of Miller 4-H and Aubrey Rakestraw of El Reno FFA. Those two need to enter the ring now, and then we'll need our first place Main and Jew Class 1 and Class 2 to come join the Class 3 winner for Breed Champion. Again, if you've just joined us for our Market Steer Show for this 2021 Canadian County Fair, evaluating the cattle this year is Mr. Jason Elmore out of Wacomas, Oklahoma. We also appreciate the superintendents that put this fair and our livestock show on, Mr. Kyle McNabb, Mr. Clark Reuter, Mr. Kelly Beck, and our ring steward, Mr. Tom Mansky. Thank you guys for your help. Yeah, give them a round of applause. They do work and answer some hard questions sometimes that they're asked. It's not an easy job, but they fill those shoes and boots very correctly.
Once again, two nice steers for this heavier weight age group of this breed division. The young lady that comes out with the first calf, the blue calf, you know, a calf that I really like for the terms of balance. A calf that's level in his overall makeup. He's good at the ground. All parts and pieces match. Stands down on a really wide base when viewed from behind. I think calf is really true in his hip. He's got some expression out through there. And then the black calf, one that I certainly like for that length of spine, but he does get just a hint softer in that top and comes out of his hip at a little more of an angle than I prefer. I'm going to go ahead and use the blue calf to be your class winner and the other one second. Congratulations.
Congratulations goes to our first place winner out of class number 3, Blakely Beams of Miller 4-H. Second place, Aubrey Rakestraw of El Reno FFA. We now need the 3 first place winners in the main and U from class 1. Representing class 1, Parker Symes of Yukon FFA. The winner of class 2, Caden Offalter-Bow of Yukon FFA. And last class winner, Blakely Beams, Miller 4-H.
Get these 3 back out here for the breed drive. I think there's something to be said about one that's just got that look, one that's, obviously not market steer today, but looking at them at the future and what they can be, and, just being smooth and well-balanced and complete in that overall makeup. That champion's going to be coming out of this second class. Congratulations.
Our class 2 winner, Caden Offalter-Bow of Yukon FFA. We now need Banner 4-H to enter the ring from class 2, and we'll look for our reserve breed champion.
Is it unplugged over there? See if you see some tracking and she's plugged in.
Okay, our reserve breed champion comes from the winner of class number 3, Blakely Beams of Miller 4-H. Congratulations to her on that reserve breed champion placement. We now have 3 classes of shorthorn market steers. We'll bring all 3 classes into the ring. Kyler Pettigrew, Miller 4-H, Bryce Root, Piedmont 4-H, and Caden Offalter-Bow of Yukon FFA. Let's bring all 3 exhibits into the ring.
in our Shorthorn division, the young man that's got this first steer that comes out here, a calf I certainly like for that length that calf has. Not the most expressively muscled one out here, but I think one is just going to be an easy feeder as time goes on and get him to that terminal weight and size. I think a calf that can stand that weight and size, and I appreciate him for that. The calf right here in the middle, one that I like for that extension that he has, really good at the ground. I like that softness that he has in the center portion of his body. Maybe gets a little bit weaker in that top, and like to stouten him up just a hint more, but still a nice calf. And then we've got the roan that rounds out the class back here to my left. A super powerfully made shorthorn steer that's really soft in his overall makeup, one that's approaching that weight more so than in the other two or some of them we've seen today. I think a pretty logical winner is this roan calf. Congratulations.
Okay, these are all first place winners. We need a reserve breed champion now. Our breed champion Shorthorn market steer is Caden off Ultra Bow of Yukon FFA. Will now show for reserve breed champion. Congratulations to Bryce Roop. He'll be reserve breed champion and a first place winner from Class 2. And a first place ribbon goes to Kyler Pettigrew of Miller 4-H for being first place in class number 1. Okay, we're into our final breed. We have AOBs, all of the breeds. There are 4 classes of AOB. In Class 1, we have 1 entry, Collins Cooper, Yukon 4-H.
This young lady brings a really nice single entry out here, and the word that popped in my mind a second this calf hit the ring was just cool. That is a cool-made calf. He's well-balanced. He's not expressive in his muscle. He's not too big. He's not too small. He's good at the ground. He's got the right shape, the right dimension. I think just a very cool, complete type of calf. 2 C words that I think that match this guy pretty good. Congratulations to her on a class winner. We'll see him back in the breed drive.
All right, in Class 1, AOB Market Steers, Collins Cooper is our first place winner from Yukon 4-H. We're now ready for class number 2. There are 2 exhibits getting ready to enter the ring: Collins Cooper, Yukon 4-H, and Parker Symes, Yukon FFA.
Black and white calf, certainly the more moderate size steer that we have out here. A calf that I like that center dimension that he has, that depth of flank that he has. A calf that's not the most powerfully one out here today, but you know, a good one in his own right. And then the yellow and white steer, you know, one that's a little stronger in his top, one that's got more shape and expression of muscle. I think just on terms of product and overall muscle and mass, the yellow calf will be your class winner and the black and white will be your reserve.
In class number 2, AOB market steers, first place winner is Parker Symes of Yukon FFA. Taking second is Collins Cooper, Yukon 4-H. We're now ready for class number 3, AOB market steers. We have Benjamin Sherry, Banner 4-H, and Jack Hornberger of Yukon FFA.
The red steer in this class, a calf that I like that dude for the amount of extension that he has, the length of spine that he has. I talked earlier in one of the breeds about having some muscle in the terms of length, and I think that one has that. You know, he's obviously greener in his condition, and it may take just a hint longer to get him where he needs to be, but still a very well-balanced, nice-made steer. The black steer, the more powerfully constructed steer. He's powerful at the ground. He stands on a wider base. He simply is a bigger topped. He's truer in that hip, and he's going to be a logical class winner for me. And then the red will be second. Congratulations.
Okay, in class number 3, AOB Market Steers, our first place winner is Jack Hornberger of Yukon FFA. In second, we have Ben Sherry of Banner 4-H. We have 4 exhibits getting ready to enter the ring in our final class of AOB Market Steers. This will be our final class for this year's fair. In the livestock show, we have entering the ring Audrey Bilderback, El Reno FFA, Kyler Pettigrew, Miller 4-H, Brooklyn Beams, Yukon FFA, and Jace Stanley of Yukon FFA.
Well, we get to the last class of the day, and we have enough numbers and enough differences that, normally a judge would start just placing them 1 through 4, but I'm not going to change the motion that I've gone through, so I'm just going to go ahead and describe each of these the way I see them, and then I'll call out 1st through 4th. But the blue or the black calf that comes out here first, a calf that's neat. He's neat in his makeup. A calf that's got enough muscle to him, maybe one that, is just a little bit jammed up for me. I like to stretch him out just a little bit, but still a good, solid type of calf. The young man's yellow steer that's right in front of me, the second one in line, here's a steer that I really appreciate the balance. Probably the best balanced steer of the class, one that's got some length and dimension to him, a calf that's got enough muscle. He's not the most expressively muscled, but he's big-topped, he's square in that hip, and he's soft enough in his overall makeup, and he still has a good look, and that look comes in the terms of balance and extension, and an awfully nice yellow steer. The white one that's circling now, that's pulling back in. I really like the fact that this one's got some cushion to him. He's soft made, a calf that's easy to look at on the terms of one that's going to project into being a fat steer quite handily. Not going to take a whole lot more to get him to where he needs to be. A calf that's not the most massive, stoutest one out here, but I think one that has enough. Him compared to kind of talk about what I mentioned on that blue steer, maybe one just like to stretch out a little bit and have a little more extension overall in him and clean him up in that lower chest and maybe just ever so slightly in that sheath, but still a nice, complete type of steer. And then the young man steer here on my far left, the other yellow steer, here's one that's really square in that hip when viewed from behind, when you look at him from side to side, and I like that about him. One that has some length to him. One I just wish we could shape him up a little more in that top, maybe fill him in, in that lower rib cage and behind that, in that forearm that he has, but still a nice steer. I think it's an awfully close pair or an awfully close set because I think a person could go a number of different ways. For me, our class winner out here is going to be the most complete calf, and that's this young man right here in front of me with the yellow steer. Start talking and looking for a second place in this class. There's things I'd like to change about all of them. And I mentioned in the heifer show that we've never made a perfect animal. That's why we keep breeding them. But I think when you talk about terms of getting them to that end point, getting them to that terminal point, and the amount of weight and carcass that they're going to hang up when they're done, I like the cushion and the softness of this yellow or this gray steer to be second. After that, I just can't get past the big square hip of this yellow steer. He'll be third, but I still like the completeness of that blue one as well. All 4 awfully nice steers. Let's give them all a round of applause.
Okay, in our final class of livestock for the 2021 Free Fair, our first place winner in Class 4 AOBs goes to Kyler Pettigrew of Miller 4-H. In second, we have Brooklyn Beams, Yukon FFA. Third goes to Jay Stanley of Yukon FFA. And in fourth place, we have Audrey Bilderback of El Reno FFA. We're now ready for our AOB championship selection. We need winner from class number 1, Collins Cooper, Yukon 4-H. First place class 2, Parker Symes, Yukon FFA. The winner of class 3, Jack Hornberger, Yukon FFA. And the last class winner, Kyler Pettigrew of Miller 4-H. Those 4 may enter the ring and will select our breed champion AOB.
As we get these steers back out here for this breed champion or the AOB drive, you know, I'm not getting into the grand drive yet, but just telling you some of the things that I like. You know, I like one that's complete. I like one that whether steers or heifers, they've got to be sound. They don't have to be the most expressively muscled one for me. Obviously, none of them are going to be to that terminal weight and be fat enough yet, but I think they've got to be able to look the part, to look like they're going to reach that point. And, you know, I also got to remind myself it's a show. And when we talk about show, they've got to have some ring appearance. They've got to have some attractiveness. They've got to have the look the part and kind of match the part of a show steer. And I think that goes in the case no matter what we're showing. There's got to be some show ring appearance and some balance and some eye appeal. I'll look at these guys one more time and select your grand reserve for this division.
Congratulations to Collins Cooper, will be our breed champion, AOB steer exhibitor. Job well done, Collins. Congratulations to you. We have no second place out of Class 1, so we'll move on with reserve breed. Looks like reserve breed is Jack Hornberger, Yukon FFA. That will wrap up the steer show, and now we're ready for breed champions to come in, and we'll select for a grand champion. Our grand champion and reserve grand champion market steer buckles are sponsored by the good folks out there at OKC West. Stop in and thank Bill Barnhart. He supports us time and again, fair and livestock show. Okay, we're going to have 5 steers entering the ring for the grand prize, grand champion market steer for this year's fair. We'll have an Angus steer, and that will be represented by Sammy Tieford of Yukon FFA. Breed champion Hereford, Kaysen Atkinson of El Reno FFA. Our main and Jew, the exhibitor representing that breed is Caden Offalter-Bow, Yukon FFA. Breed champion Shorthorn, Caden Offalter-Bow, also has that exhibit from Yukon FFA. And our breed champion AOB, Collins Cooper, Yukon 4-H. We need those 5 exhibitors in the ring for our grand champion selection. Remember, if you're interested in showmanship, whether you had a heifer or a market steer, be ready to go after we select reserve grand champion, because everybody could come in that wants to be in showmanship. As we start to wind down the day and get to the champion drive for the steer show,
I made a comment visiting before we even started the show that, this it can be a little bit of a challenge this time of year to evaluate steers because very few of them are going to be market ready, and those that are, those guys, a lot of them are holding them back for Tulsa or wherever they're going to be going with them. So, we're not looking at anybody that's darn sure a market steer, but so we're evaluating them as prospects, and whether that prospect is coming up soon in the next few months or whether it's next spring, it's up to the judge to put his emphasis on where he likes that. And for me, when I look at these steers, the things I've already been repetitive about and said, I want one that's got a look. I want one that's got some balance, one that's got enough muscle. Doesn't have to be the most expressively muscled one for me, but it's got to also be soft made, an easy feeder type of calf. One that kind of checks the most boxes for me. And I think that one for me, or I know that one for me, is standing out here. He's one I like quite a bit. You look at that dude from any angle, he's got the parts and pieces for me. Soft made, he's stout made, still has a cool look to him, and that's going to be a Shorthorn. Congratulations.
Congratulations to our grand champion market steer exhibitor, Caden Off-Alter Bow of Yukon FFA. We now need the reserve breed champion Shorthorn into the ring, Bryce Roop, Piedmont 4-H. Bryce, come on in and we'll find us a reserve grand champion. Again, junior showmanship starts immediately after we select the reserve grand champion. So you junior or exhibitors interested in showmanship in the beef division need to be gathering up in the holding area. Peewees do come in first, and then junior, intermediate, and then senior. So peewees need to be in the ring right now. Congratulations to our reserve grand champion market steer Collins Cooper of Yukon FFA.
4-H.
Or 4-H. Yes, absolutely, 4-H. Now we need the peewees. Peewees, gather up back here. We're not going to start just yet, but gather up and we'll call you in shortly. Right. Let's have our grand and reserve grand show up over there at the backdrop, and we're going to get a picture real quick with you and the judge. So please come over there. Collins and Caden, please go get your picture right now. Do we have any Pee-wee beef exhibitors? I do not know. Do we have any Pee-wee? We do. I hear yes being yelled out. So we're ready for Pee-wee showmanship. Pee-wee show. Pee-wee show. Bring them on in. It is non-competitive. They will get a ribbon. But we are ready for Pee-wee showman, or Pee-wee show. The junior showmen need to be in the holding area right now. At the conclusion of the Pee-wee show, we'll be ready for junior showmanship.
For our Pee Wee showmanship, I think this young guy he scared off the competition. I come out here and, you know, it's obvious these young guys, they have plenty of time to learn, and they're not going to learn it without getting out here and doing it. I commend him for doing it and trying and keeping after it. Young man, keep after it. I think you'll be really good one of these days. Let's give him a round of applause.
Congratulations goes to Cutterbow Maple School. Let's give him a round of applause. It's bold to come out here when you're a show of one. All right, you junior showmen, we've announced several times to have you come on in. We're ready to do a junior showmanship and award a banner for the champion showman. That banner is sponsored by the good folks at Schroeder Grain. We appreciate Barry, son, who took the business over and has sponsored us ever since, and we do appreciate that legacy. All right, let's bring in the junior showman.
for the record, I love this part. I hate making the decision of showmanship, but I love showmanship, and I love working with the kids in showmanship. And I'm not going to give away a lot of my secrets because I know we still have intermediates and juniors yet to come out here, or intermediates and seniors. But I wanted to take a time, especially with these juniors, and give them a word of encouragement, maybe one little thing that I think they could improve on. And this junior age is tough. My wife and I, our little girl, she's in that junior age bracket, and there's challenges. I made the comment to the young lady with
youth against her, and that's the calf, not her. Those babies are figuring it out. The one down here on the other end with the blue one, I tell you, my hat's off to that young lady. That guy's tired. He's been up a long time. He's starting to look like I feel. He's had enough of this show already, and he's ready to go lay down and take a break. But I commended her for keeping after it. There's a couple of personal little preference things that I liked. I talked to each one of them on what things I would like to see different. But most importantly, you kids don't quit. Unfortunately, too many of them, when they get older, they get in that senior bracket and they decide they're too cool for this part of it, and I don't think you ever are. I'm one for competition. I love competing no matter what we're doing. So you young ones, don't stop. Keep after it. I think there's one out here that just parks this animal in the correct position every time. The composure of that individual, the composure of the cattle, has just been clockwork every time I've turned and looked, and that's going to be the young man right there with the short one.
Congratulations goes to our champion junior showman from Banner 4-H, Caden Worthington. Congratulations, Caden. Well done. All right, we're ready now to move to intermediates. Those youth that are 13 to 15-year-olds. The intermediate banner is awarded and sponsored by Landry.
Not a reserve, right? Okay. I saw him carrying 2 members.
Sometimes we used to pick an alternate.
We'll do that in the spring for OYE.
Okay, intermediates, as soon as the juniors exit the ring, the show ring is yours. Bring them on in.
No, you're good. Good grief. That's a big rig. That's a big rig.
They dropped their pink ribbons.
Take it home. No,
I know who shows it too, a second.
oh, I'm still doing those. Oh, it's good.
I don't really hang out with that.
Oh, it's good.
Sorry. I don't know who lost, dude. That's like activating it.
Oh, it's 13 to 16. You won't have this issue.
Somebody dropped that.
Now that I know how to start one, I can get all the cards ready and everything. No big
that's
deal.
what I'm saying, and I'll be back. We're not gonna get through here, slide about.
I'm probably gonna try to grab something to eat.
I would assume that's a girl. I don't
Bring it
know
over
if it's a
here.
boy.
My son wore a pink shirt. I was gonna say, have you met him?
Well, he stood out there.
So I guess not. I can't say anything without
Probably Mason. I've talked to Ron today. They're going to unlock him every Thursday. He's coming here and setting his own thing. I didn't know it would. Sound like after Friday, you're done. You're so he's going to be able to keep his stock. From now on, next they set this stuff back here on this road.
But we got tomorrow. At least we'll get this side and right here. We can always add more later. Anywhere. I mean, probably
Your
good
stock contractor peeing in the pins over there ready to build that. Back here. Well, this will be out of here in about.
And once it rains, it's gonna be bad.
Well, no, because they have some of it. Hey, they just have these benches out here. The classrooms. I'm assuming, I mean, all this time out here, I'm assuming that I don't think those pads will pull over those.
And he got me a lot.
kids, especially those here in the arena. I hope you hear what I have to say here. I'm not going to once again talk about the specifics of what I like. I'll do that at the end. I think everybody's still kind of see why I did what I did. But in life, we're always going to be dealt different circumstances, different challenges. And it's a matter of how we deal with it. You know, some of us walking in the showroom, you get to be the first one in there, and how's that one going to respond? Or are you going to get pulled over on the side like this and get stuck in a tight spot? How are you going to deal with it? And, you know, it doesn't matter whether we're showing cows or we're playing sports or whatever we're doing in life. We're always going to be dealt different items and different challenges, and it's all there how we deal with it. And I realize I'm taking a little more time on showmanship, but it's something I'm passionate about. It's something our family's very passionate about, and I want to take that time and see what are we doing right, what are we doing wrong, where can we make improvement, and kind of go through things like that. So I've not completely made up my mind. But I'm going to look at these intermediates one more time. An excellent set of showmen. I'll go through them one last time and evaluate and select your champion. Let's give these kids a round of applause.
Yes, identical. That's not a good thing in showmanship, is it?
Not just after you. Okay, our intermediate champion is won by Caden Bow of Yukon FFA. Congratulations to her. Let's give all the intermediate exhibitors a round of applause. And if we have any senior showman contestants, it's about your time.
That calf is being sticky.
All right, last call for senior showman. I think this is it. Any other senior showman contestants? I think this is it, Mr. Elm. Elmore and Mr. I was trying to think of you, Tom, Mr. Mansky. I'm used to calling you Tom, not Mr. Mansky.
I don't know if it's just a county thing that we don't have that many senior showmen, or if this guy's just willing to come out here on his own. But often, I said this in the junior deal, oftentimes the weaker of the showmanship divisions are the seniors, and I think that's a lot because of a lot of the older ones, right, wrong, or indifferent of how I say it, they think they're too cool to be out here and go through the showmanship. But I want to commend this young man for just getting out here and doing it. That means a lot, you know, to keep after it and keep doing what you're doing. Not to mention he does an awfully good job of showing a pretty good Hereford heifer. Congratulations. I've enjoyed the day. Thanks for having me.
Congratulations goes to Dylan Rakestraw of El Reno FFA. Congratulations to you, sir. And that wraps up the 2021 Canadian County Free Fair Livestock. Do we have a herdsman winner? Oh, okay, El Reno is the herdsman winner, and they can come collect their banner. If you have El Reno FFA members that would like to come and get your picture taken, I know some are taking them out in front of the facility. Your banner is in the show ring right now.